Hey y'all, JJL Forge here. I am building a vacuum chamber today. So first thing I did was I promptly took the lid off this 16 quart pot and started pulling it apart and drilling a hole for this brass bit here to go through, and the lid shattered in my hands. So we're going to step back and punt. We are going to use a piece of plexiglass. This is a piece of acrylic, and it might wind up being too thin, in which case I'll go to Home Depot and get the thicker stuff and just replace that bit out. Anyway, the idea is that I'm going to drill a hole in this, put my brass bits in, screw that down to it like this, have a hose connect over to my vacuum pump, which will connect like this, and then yeah, should be able to suck the stabilizing adhesive or glue or finish or whatever it is, epoxy, there we go, suck the epoxy through the wood that I want to use for handles. So to that end, I have taken, and the silicone's still wet on here, but I ran a bead around the inside rim where the lid would sit down, and then on top of that, between that and the absolute top lip, let's see, get up here so you can see, I ran a bead on top of that so that it makes a nice surface to put our chamber lid up on top of that. And what should happen is it should suction down on that nicely. Now, I'll build this thing, put it together, maybe let it run once and see, just to test it. The one thing I don't have that would be really nice on this would be a vacuum gauge to see how many inches of mercury it's pulling. It's not necessary for what I'm doing. If you were to get into using this thing to do investments or something like that for casting purposes, you might really need that. I don't know anything about that. I probably, along this process, I'm going to learn quite a bit about what I have to have and what I don't have to have. But this is just my redneck version, cheapo way to get a vacuum chamber. Anyways, that is a Harbor Freight vacuum pump. As you can see, well, if it would focus, 2.5 CFM. They also had a 3.0 CFM. It's just a little bit more, and for 50 bucks, I didn't think it was absolutely net. 50 bucks more, I didn't think it was necessary for this project. Now, if this one goes kaput, I did get the warranty on it. I can take it back and swap it out. And if that is the case, then I probably will swap out for the bigger vacuum pump. But as it sits right now, it's not a necessity. So, yeah. Anyway, that's about enough of me rambling on this. And next step I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna get a Sharpie and figure out about where the circle needs to be on this piece of plexiglass so that I can put these in the center of it and not muck it up, or fairly close to the center of it. I'll be honest, this stuff wasn't the cheapest. This is actually a nice UV resistant acrylic piece. But my only concern is that it might be too thin. If it breaks and cracks, I'm just out the money that was, and I'll go get a thicker piece. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'll use it use the scrap pieces if it does break on something else. Make a light box or something, I don't know. But anyway, we'll catch you on the flip side here in just a bit. Later. All right, guys, I've got it put back together. So there we go. There's the hole. The brass rod is underneath the brass rod. The connection is through the glass, the plexiglass. Hoses on it. Now this is just a trial, just to make sure the concept's good. I'll come back and I'll actually, put some silicone and whatnot around there to make sure that doesn't leak. Put a hose clamp on there, put one on here. But this is just, like I say, proof of concept and trial. So let's try this out. And yeah, my drill press wouldn't reach the center of the square, so it's offset. No big deal. All right, might get noisy. I want you guys to just kind of see that section right there. And more drawing down. And of course you can't tell. Can't really tell. But that thing has bowed down. Yeah, there you can see. Okay, so okay, yep. Okay, so for proof of concept, yeah, I think that plexiglass will hold up just fine. The pot, however, it didn't. Scared the ever-living bejeebers out of me. Give me the hiccups. So no, I ain't been drinking. I just got good and scared. I thought it was going to explode in my face. So, being a blacksmith, I can actually knock that back out and keep in mind that I don't need to pull that strong of a freaking vacuum on the thing. Yeah, that should work. Okay, thanks for coming along with me on this, and yeah, we're going to have some fun. Thank you. Bye.